Divorced men. What happened when she asked for another chance and you refused? Story 1. She asked for another chance in the most casual way possible, like she was ordering coffee. Hey, she texted. Can we talk? I've been thinking, maybe we moved too fast on the divorce. I didn't answer. Not because I was shaking or tempted. Because I was at my nephew's birthday party holding a paper plate with cake, and my hands were finally steady again. She called. I stepped outside so my sister wouldn't see my face. You're really going to ignore me? She said, already annoyed. I'm not ignoring you, I said. I'm saying no. A pause. Then her voice softened. I made mistakes. You made mistakes too. Sure, I said. But your mistake had a name and he parked in our driveway. She went quiet, then tried the new angle. I miss my home. I miss us. I miss the way you took care of things. That's exactly why I'm saying no, I told her. You miss the benefits, not the marriage. Her tone flipped like a switch. So you're punishing me? No, I said. I'm protecting me. She actually laughed. You're acting like you're some prize. I looked through the window at my family, at my little nephew with frosting on his nose. I'm acting like I'm not disposable, I said. Goodbye. She sent 5 more texts in 10 minutes. I didn't read them. I blocked her number and went back inside before anyone noticed I'd ever left. Story 2. She showed up at the custody exchange with her hair done, mascara perfect, and that sad little smile she used when she wanted forgiveness without accountability. Our son ran to me and wrapped his arms around my legs. She stood behind him like a photographer waiting for the right moment. Can we talk? She asked. Just us. I kept my voice calm because my kid was right there. We can talk through the parenting app. Her smile strained. I'm not trying to fight. I'm trying to fix things. I nodded toward the car. Buckle him in. When he was inside, she stepped closer, like the divorce had been a weird dream, and we were still allowed to stand that close. I broke things, she whispered. I know, but I'm different now. I went to therapy. That's good, I said. So, another chance? She reached for my hand. I pulled my hand back like the air around her burned. No. Her face tightened. You're still mad. I'm not mad, I said. I'm done. She blinked hard. We were a family. We still are, I said. Just not the kind that shares a bed. That's when she played her last card. She lowered her voice. He left me. I stared at her. I know. Her eyes widened. How? Because you called my mom at 2 a.m. crying, I said. You forgot she still loves me. She looked like she'd been slapped. Then she turned and marched back toward her porch, phone already out. Probably ready to craft a story where I was the villain. I didn't watch her go. I got in the car and my son said, Daddy, can we get fries? And my whole chest unclenched. Yeah, buddy, I said. Let's get fries. Story 3. She asked for another chance in front of other people on purpose. That's what makes it different. She didn't want reconciliation. She wanted leverage. It was my friend's engagement party at a rooftop bar. I almost didn't go because I knew her circle still hung around the same places. But I'd promised myself I wouldn't live like a fugitive anymore. I was mid-conversation when I heard my name like a hook yanking me backward. Evan. There she was. My ex-wife. Glittery dress, glossy lips, eyes shining like she'd rehearsed this in the mirror. And behind her, 2 of her friends. Silent, watching, ready to report back. Hi, I said, polite enough to pass. She smiled like we were on a first date. Can we talk? We're talking, I said. No, like, really talk. She glanced around, making sure people were looking. I've changed. I felt the room pull in. That subtle hush when strangers smell drama. She stepped closer, voice getting soft and theatrical. I miss you. I miss what we had. I made the biggest mistake of my life. Somebody behind me whispered, oh my God, I knew her plan. Paint herself as brave and remorseful, force me to either accept her or look cruel in public. So I kept my voice even. This isn't the place. Her eyes glistened. Then where? You won't answer my calls. You blocked me. You left me no choice. A laugh almost escaped me. You left me no choice, I said, when you moved him into our house while I was still paying for it. Her face twitched. She didn't expect specifics. She expected foggy, we both messed up language. She recovered fast. That's not fair. I was lonely. You were distant. I nodded slowly. Yeah, I was distant. Because I was working 2 jobs while you were building a new relationship on my credit card. Now people were fully staring. Her friend's eyes darted like trapped animals. She hissed. Why would you say that here? Because you asked here, I said. You staged this. Her voice rose, desperation turning sharp. So you're just throwing me away? I'm not throwing you away, I said. I already let you go. You're the one standing in front of me pretending you didn't push. She reached into her purse like she was going to pull out proof of her growth. Instead, her phone slipped, clattered on the floor, and the screen lit up. Notifications popping like fireworks. A contact name flashed at the top, Derek, and a message preview. Are you done begging him yet? I'm waiting in the car. The sound someone made was half choke, half laugh. Her face drained. She snatched the phone up, but it was too late. The performance was dead. I leaned in just enough for her to hear me over the music. You didn't come for another chance, I said. You came for an audience. Then I walked away, straight to the bar, and ordered water. Because I wasn't going to celebrate her humiliation with alcohol. I was going to remember it sober. Story 4. She asked for another chance the day my divorce became final. Not a week later. Not months later. That day, I was walking out of the courthouse, papers in my hand, feeling like I'd run a marathon barefoot. I sat on the steps to breathe. And there she was, like a ghost who didn't know she'd died. Hey, she said. I didn't look up. What do you want? She sat beside me anyway. Too close. Perfume hitting like a memory I didn't ask for. I don't want this to be the end, she said. I laughed once, short and ugly. It's literally the end. That's what the judge just signed, she swallowed. I thought I would feel relieved. I don't. Okay, I said, and stood up. She grabbed my sleeve. Please. One more chance. I'll do it right. I looked down at her hand on my arm and realized I felt nothing. No rage, no longing, just silence. You had chances, I said. I know, she whispered. You had them when I asked you to stop calling me names in front of your friends. She flinched. You had them when you drained the savings and told me it was my fault for not handling money. Her eyes went wet. You had them when you said no one else would put up with you. And I believed you. She let go like her fingers finally understood the message before her brain did. I didn't mean it, she said. I know, I replied. You meant worse? You just didn't think you'd lose. She started crying right there on the courthouse steps, mascara melting. People walked around us like we were a pothole. I walked to my car, got in, and she tapped on the window, mouthing, please. I didn't flip her off. I didn't yell. I just drove away, because refusing her felt less like revenge and more like breathing. Story 5. She asked for another chance the night her upgrade didn't work out, and she came dressed like she was auditioning to be my wife again. I was at the gym late, headphones in, minding my business, when I saw her in the mirror behind me. She stood near the water fountain like she'd been waiting, arms folded, eyes scanning for me. I took my headphones off. What are you doing here? She smiled too quickly. Hi. I didn't know if you still came at this time. So you did know, I said. She exhaled, already trying to sound sincere. Can we talk somewhere private? I nodded toward the open floor. This is private enough. Her eyes flicked to the people around us. Not like this. Then don't ambush me, I said. She pressed a hand to her chest like she was carrying a tragedy. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was distracted. I wasn't thinking. I wiped my hands on my towel. You were thinking. You just liked your plan better than your marriage. Her face hardened for half a second before she smoothed it out. I made a mistake, I know. But people come back from worse. We had history. We had a mortgage, I corrected. And you treated it like a hotel. She stepped closer and lowered her voice. He lied to me. He's not who he said he was. He took money from me. I stared at her. So now you want me to fix your life again? That's not fair, she snapped, then caught herself. That's not what I mean. She reached into her purse and pulled out a small key ring. 2 keys and a fob. I kept these, she said. I never stopped thinking about home. I didn't take them. Those don't work anymore. Her lips parted. What? I changed the locks, I said. 3 months ago. Her eyes filled with anger. You didn't tell me. I didn't owe you an update, I said. She tried a different weapon. Tears. So that's it? You're just done? After everything? I nodded. After everything. That's when she raised her voice on purpose. I'm trying to apologize and you're humiliating me. Heads turned. A guy on the treadmill slowed down like he wanted better audio. I looked right at her and spoke clearly, so the room could hear without me shouting. You're not apologizing, I said. You're negotiating. And I'm not for sale. She stood there frozen, like she couldn't believe the script wasn't working. Then she threw the keys at my feet. Metal clinked on rubber flooring. Fine, she spat. Enjoy being alone. A woman at the nearby rack muttered, he looks pretty peaceful to me. My ex heard it. Her face flushed deep red. She stormed out, pushing past the front desk so hard the door banged. The desk guy called after her. Ma'am, you forgot your... But she was already gone. I picked up the keys, walked them to the desk and handed them over. Lost and found, I said. Then I put my headphones back on and finished my set like she'd never learned my schedule at all. Story 6. She didn't text me. She emailed. From a brand new address, like that made it professional instead of desperate. Subject line. One last conversation. Inside was a wall of paragraphs about growth, therapy, accountability, then the line that gave it away. I'm moving out. He wasn't who I thought he was. I realized you were my real home. I read it twice. Not because it moved me. Because I couldn't believe she still thought he failed me was an apology. I replied with one sentence. I'm glad you're getting help. The answer is no. 5 minutes later. Can you please not be cold? Then, after everything I did for you? Then, you're really going to throw away our history? I didn't answer. 2 days later, my building's intercom buzzed while I was making coffee. Hi, it's me, her voice said, bright and sugary. Let me up. I stared at the speaker like it had insulted me. No. A pause. Then she dropped the voice into that wounded tone she used for audiences. I just want to talk. I'm downstairs. I came all this way. I stepped onto my balcony and looked down. She was there with a bag and a face full of hope, like she'd rehearsed a reunion scene. She waved when she saw me. I didn't wave back. I called the front desk. 2 minutes later, security walked her toward the lobby doors. She started arguing, gesturing up at my balcony like I owed her a closing speech. One of the guards pointed at the residents-only sign, calm as a wall. She tried one last time, shouting up, "So you're just done with me?" I leaned over the railing and kept my voice flat. You're not being rejected now. You were rejected the day you decided I was optional. The guard opened the door. She stumbled out into the cold like the world had pushed her. I went back inside, sipped my coffee, and for the first time in years, my hands didn't shake. Story 7. She asked for another chance through the dog. Not a message to me. Not an apology. Just a photo of our old golden retriever, Max, with the caption, "Max misses you. Maybe we can be a family again." For him, I stared at it and actually laughed. Because Max didn't miss her. Max lived with me. She'd temporarily left Max with me during the divorce, then forgot about him the same way she forgot about vows, whenever it was inconvenient. A week later, I took Max to the vet. Routine checkup. We're in the waiting room and I hear a voice behind me go soft and fake sad. Oh my God, Max! I turned. There she was, dressed like it was a date, holding a bag of dog treats like a peace offering. She crouched to pet him and Max didn't move, just leaned into my leg. Her smile twitched. He remembers me. Max yawned. She stood up and looked at me like we were in a courtroom and she was about to win on emotion. I've changed, she said. I think we should try again. We were good once. Don't do this here, I said. She did it anyway, loud enough for other pet owners to look over. I'm trying to rebuild our family and you're acting like I'm a stranger, the vet tech called. Max? And I stood up. She reached out like she was coming too. The tech glanced at the chart. Are you... My wife, my ex started. My ex-wife, I corrected. The tech blinked, then smiled politely at the chart again. Only the owner can come back. My ex's face tightened. Owner? We got him together. I pulled a folder from my bag. Rabies certificate, microchip registration, adoption transfer, all updated. I didn't even raise my voice. I just handed it over. The tech looked at the paperwork and nodded. Yep. He's registered to you. My ex went red. You did that behind my back? You stopped answering about Max for 8 months, I said. I did it for his stability. She hissed. So you're stealing my dog now too. The waiting room went quiet. Someone coughed. Max pressed harder against my shin. The tech opened the door. Sir? I walked in with Max. My ex followed, then got stopped by the tech's arm like a gate. Ma'am, you can wait out here. She stood there, frozen, holding dog treats nobody wanted, while the door clicked shut in her face. When I came out, she tried to catch my eye like we'd share a moment. I didn't. Max and I walked straight past her, leash steady, future steady. Story 8. She didn't ask me for another chance. She asked my girlfriend. That's how I knew it wasn't about love. It was about control. My girlfriend, Tessa, showed me the message on her phone without drama. Hi, I'm his ex-wife. I know you think you won, but he and I have history. He'll come back. Men always do. Tessa looked at me. Do you want me to block her? No, I said. I want her to stop thinking she can pull strings through other people. So Tessa replied, coffee tomorrow, 4 p.m. I didn't go to talk. I went to watch the mask slip. My ex walked in like she owned the place. She sat down, barely acknowledged me, and locked eyes with Tessa like this was a duel. You're pretty, she said, smiling thin. I'll give you that, but you don't know him like I do. Tessa nodded slowly. Tell me. My ex leaned forward. He acts calm, but he holds grudges. He'll punish you. He's stubborn. And when life gets hard, he runs. I sat there and listened to my life get rewritten by the person who set it on fire. Tessa didn't react. She just sipped her drink. Anything else? My ex smiled like she was winning. I'm not a bad person. I just made a mistake. And he's being dramatic. If you care about him, you'll tell him to forgive. Tessa set her cup down gently. Okay. My ex's eyes flashed with relief. So you understand? Tessa turned to me. Babe, do you want to tell her? Or should I? I looked at my ex. No. Just that. No speech. No rage. No negotiation. My ex's smile cracked. Excuse me? Tessa slid her phone across the table. On the screen was a list of messages my ex had sent. Dozens. Some to me, some to Tessa, some to a mutual friend. Same pattern. Guilt, threats, pity, insults. Tessa tapped the screen. You don't want another chance. You want a stage. My ex's face went stiff. Who do you think you are? The person he chose after you taught him what disrespect looks like, Tessa said. My ex's voice rose. He's mine. We were married. I finally leaned in. And you still talk like I'm property. That's why the answer will always be no. She stood so fast her chair scraped. People turned. She pointed at Tessa like a judge. Enjoy him. He'll leave you too. Tessa didn't blink. He already left the only woman who deserved it. My ex walked out shaking. And for the first time, I didn't feel like the villain in her story. I felt like the person who escaped it. Story 9. She tried to trade another chance like it was a discount coupon. We were in mediation to finalize the last ugly parts. Support, schedules, the stuff that makes you feel like love got turned into paperwork. She walked in wearing the same perfume she wore on our honeymoon. On purpose. Halfway through, she asked the mediator for a private moment with me. The mediator said yes, but stayed close enough to hear. Smart woman. My ex leaned in, whispering like she was giving me a gift. I'll make this easy, she said. I'll reduce what I'm asking for. I'll stop fighting over holidays. I'll be flexible. I didn't respond. She smiled wider. All you have to do is admit you still care. Give us a real try. Move back in. We can fix it. The mediator's pen stopped. I watched it. The way you watch a car accident happen in slow motion. I looked my ex dead in the eyes. So you want to buy me? Her face tight. Don't twist it. I'm trying to compromise. No, I said. You're trying to bargain your way back into control. She scoffed. Control? You always make me the villain. I nodded toward the mediator. Did you hear what she just offered? The mediator cleared her throat. I did. My ex's cheeks flushed. It's not like that. I kept my voice calm. If you cared about repairing what you broke, you wouldn't attach a price tag to my peace. Her eyes went shiny. Then the anger came. You think you're so righteous. You think you're better than me now. I think I'm safer without you, I said. That's all. She snapped, loud enough that the mediator straightened in her chair. Fine. Then I'll take you for everything I can. The mediator slowly wrote something down. My ex saw the pen moving and realized too late what she'd just done. She'd threatened me in a room designed to document exactly that. The mediator looked up. We're going back on the record. My ex tried to recover, but it was messy, desperate, too late. When we walked out later, she hissed, You humiliated me. I didn't even look at her. You did that yourself. I just didn't catch you. Story 10. She asked for another chance the way she used to start fights, by dragging other people into it. I woke up to a new group chat I didn't ask for. Family, members. Me, my mom, my sister, my aunt, and her. First message from her at 7:12 a.m. Good morning. I'm sorry. I want to fix what I broke. I love him. Please encourage him to talk to me. I stared at the screen like it was poison. My mom replied first, calm but deadly. Why are you messaging his family? My ex sent a paragraph about fate, God, lessons, how she fell into a bad season, and lost herself. Then she finished with, he needs to stop punishing me. That line hit my sister like a match. Punishing you? You cheated, lied, and then told him he'd die alone. My ex tried to pivot. We both said things. My aunt responded. No. You said things. We were there. My ex then did the funniest thing imaginable. She sent a voice note. In it, she was crying, loud, theatrical, saying, I just need one chance. I'm begging. He's being cruel. My mom replied with one sentence. Should I play the voice note you left me the night you got caught? Silence for 2 minutes. Then my ex typed, What voice note? My mom dropped it into the chat. It was my ex's voice, drunk and smug from months ago. I don't even feel bad. He's pathetic. He'll take me back because he has no spine. The chat went dead quiet in that way that feels like a room holding its breath. Then my mom wrote, Leave my son alone. My ex started typing. You could see the bubbles. She tried to delete messages. Too late. I finally sent my only message. No. Then I blocked her. 10 seconds later, my sister posted, Proud of you. My mom posted a heart. And somewhere out there, my ex learned the one thing she never understood in our marriage. She couldn't rewrite reality once other people saw it too. Story 11. She asked for another chance at my father's funeral. I'm not exaggerating. Not around that time. Not that week, literally in the parking lot while people were still hugging and crying. She waited until I was alone near my car, like she'd hunted the moment. Black dress, red eyes, the whole performance. I'm so sorry, she said, touching my arm like she still had access. I shouldn't have left you alone through all this. I pulled my arm away. Why are you here? She swallowed. To pay respects. And to check on you. Behind her, my cousins were loading flower stands. My mom was inside with my aunt. Everyone was fragile, and she chose this. I've been thinking, she whispered. Life is short. We shouldn't waste it. I made a mistake. Please, let's start over. My brain went quiet. Not numb. Quiet like a door shutting. You picked my worst day to sell me forgiveness, I said. Her face tightened. I'm not selling anything. I'm trying to be real. You're trying to make my grief about you, I said. Again. She blinked, tears forming instantly. That's not fair. I stared at her. You know what's not fair? You telling me my dad wasn't even that important when I missed a weekend trip because he was in the hospital. Her mouth opened, then closed. She looked around as if hoping nobody heard. My cousin did. He paused, eyes sharp. She lowered her voice. I was angry. I didn't mean it. Sure, I said. And today you don't mean this either. You just want your spot back. She stepped closer. You're being cruel. My cousin walked over, not aggressive, just present. Everything okay? He asked. My ex's eyes flicked to him. She forced a smile. We're just talking. My cousin nodded. Cool. Conversation's over. I looked at her one last time. Don't come to my family's pain again. That's my boundary. She stood there like she'd been denied an applause line. Then she turned and walked away, heels clicking, mascara already running. I didn't feel victory. I felt relief, like I'd protected the last sacred thing I had left that day. Story 12. She asked for another chance with a gift. A box showed up at my doorstep, no return address. Inside was my old watch, the one my grandfather gave me, plus a note in her handwriting. I'm sorry. I kept it by accident. I want to return what I took. Can we talk? That watch went missing the week she moved out. I'd torn the house apart. She swore she didn't have it. I believed her because I was trained to. Now it's by accident. I didn't message her. I took the watch to a jeweler because the clasp looked wrong. The jeweler popped it open and frowned. Did you know this is not the original mechanism? He asked. My stomach dropped. What do you mean? He showed me the inside. Parts replaced. Cheaper components. This looks like someone swapped it, he said carefully. Not professionally. I went home and searched the watch online. Same model. Same year. Value. High. Collector's item. I checked my credit report too because something in me snapped awake. There it was. A store card I didn't open. Balance maxed. Last payment made. 2 days before she sent the gift, she wasn't returning my watch. She was covering a trail. She called that evening, voice soft. Did you get it? I just wanted to do the right thing. I kept my voice flat. You lied. You stole it and you damaged it. Silence. Then a sigh like I was being difficult. I knew you'd react like this. No, I said. You hoped I wouldn't. She tried to pivot. I'm trying to fix things between us. No, I interrupted. You're trying to fix your consequences. Her tone sharpened. So what, you're going to ruin my life over a watch? I'm not ruining anything, I said. I'm refusing to be the person you practice on. I sent the jeweler's notes to my lawyer. I froze my credit. I documented everything. She texted me later. You're heartless. I looked at my watch, the one thing my grandfather left me, and felt something cold and clean settle in my chest. Heartless would have been forgiving her again. Story 13. She asked for another chance because she thought she still had one advantage. My job. I work in a niche industry. People talk. She used to brag about my position like it was hers. After the divorce, she kept name-dropping me like a passcode. One day I get a message from a coworker. Hey, is everything okay? Your ex called HR. I felt my blood go cold. Apparently, she'd told HR we were reconciling and asked if she could be added back to my benefits because of medical reasons. She framed it like a done deal, like I was just being slow. HR wanted confirmation. I drove to the office, sat down, and told them the truth. Divorced, no contact, do not share information. That night, she called from an unknown number. I answered because I thought it might be about taxes. She said, cheerful. So, I heard you told HR we aren't together. We aren't, I said. Her voice dropped into fake hurt. I'm going through something. I needed help. I thought you still cared. You didn't ask, I said. You tried to force it. She got angry fast. You always have to make me look crazy. You called my employer, I said. That's not caring. That's harassment. She pivoted to the main pitch. If we get back together, everything is easier. We can just undo this. I'll be better. I'll respect you. I laughed once. You can't respect someone you try to manipulate. She hissed. I'm not manipulating. You are, I said, and you're sloppy now. She went quiet. Then came the threat. If you don't help me, I'll tell people things. Like what? I asked. Her voice wobbled. I don't know. Things. That's when I realized she had nothing except noise. Do it, I said, and I'll forward HR the recording of this call. She hung up. The next morning, HR emailed me. We have blocked her number and documented her contact. My ex didn't lose me that day. She lost the last illusion that she could still reach into my life and press buttons. Story 14. She asked for another chance at the one place I couldn't just walk away. My kid's school event. It was a winter concert. Our daughter was on stage in a little scarf, trying not to look into the crowd too much. I arrived early and sat in the back because I didn't want tension. Then my ex slid into the seat beside me like we were still married. Hi, she whispered. You look good. I didn't move. Don't, she smiled. I'm being nice. No, I said. You're testing. The lights dimmed. Kids started singing. Cute, messy, adorable. My daughter glanced out, saw both of us, and her shoulders relaxed like she could finally breathe. And my ex used that exact moment to whisper, after this, can we talk? I want another chance. For her, I felt my jaw tighten. Not because I was tempted, because she used our daughter like a bargaining chip. Our daughter deserves peace, I said quietly. Not a restart button. She frowned. You're so dramatic. We can co-parent and be together. You mean I can pay bills and take blame again? I said. She tried to take my hand. I kept my hands folded in my lap. Her voice sharpened. So you're choosing pride over family. I'm choosing stability, I said. The concert ended. Parents clapped, phones up, kids waving. Our daughter ran down the aisle toward us. My ex stood fast, arms wide, and our daughter hugged her first. Then she looked at me, hesitant, like she was scared hugging me would start a war. I knelt and opened my arms. Come here, I said, smiling. She hugged me too, tight. And I said, loud enough for my ex to hear, you never have to pick sides. You can love both of us. My ex's smile slipped. Because she wanted the kid as a weapon, not as a child. Later in the hallway, she cornered me. You embarrassed me. I kept my voice calm. Stop asking for chances in places you know I'll stay polite, she whispered, furious. I'll keep trying. I looked her in the eye, then I'll keep saying no. And I walked away holding my daughter's mittened hand, not looking back. Story 15. She asked for another chance because she thought I was lonely. That was her whole logic. Not love. Not remorse. Just math. Divorced man plus winter plus silence equals desperate. She showed up at my door with 2 coffees and a smile like we were in the middle of a cute rom-com. I was nearby, she said. I thought we could talk. I didn't invite her in. I stayed in the doorway, blocking the warmth behind me like a boundary. She lifted the coffees. Your favorite? You don't know my favorite anymore, I said. She laughed like I was joking. Come on. I've been thinking a lot. I'm ready to be the wife you deserved. I nodded once. Good. Be that wife for your next husband. Her face tightened. You're not even curious? No, I said. She tried a softer tone. I miss our life. I miss cooking together. I miss falling asleep next to you. You didn't miss it when you were texting him next to me, I said. That hit. Her eyes flashed. Then she snapped back into performance. You're never going to forgive me, are you? I forgave you, I said. I just didn't return. She stepped forward, voice lowering. So what now? You're going to be alone forever? I smiled slightly. I'm not alone. I'm at peace. That's when she lost control. Peace? You call this peace? You're pathetic. You're hiding. I looked at her, steady. There you are, I said. That's the real you. The one who comes out when you don't get what you want. She froze, realizing she'd said it out loud. I took the coffees from her hand, walked to the trash, and dropped them in. Not dramatic. Not angry. Just finished. Her mouth fell open. Did you just... Yes, I said. Because you came here to buy your way back in with sugar and nostalgia. She stood on my porch blinking like the world had betrayed her. I stepped back and closed the door gently. Not a slam. A quiet click. And that sound was louder than any argument we ever had. Story 16. She didn't ask me for another chance privately. She asked the internet. I woke up to my phone exploding. My sister. Bro, did you see TikTok? My coworker. Dude, are you okay? My ex had posted a crying video titled, When Your Husband Won't Forgive You. She didn't say my name, but she showed our old kitchen, our dog, my jacket hanging by the door. Everything that screamed me. Comments were brutal in both directions. Half calling her so brave, half calling me cold. Then she texted, I didn't mean for it to blow up. But maybe this is a sign. Can we talk? One more chance? I stared at the message and realized the point wasn't love. It was pressure. Public shame as a crowbar. So I did the one thing she couldn't control. I didn't fight her online. I didn't post receipts. I didn't beg strangers to pick my side. I sent one message to the only group that mattered, my family. FYI. She's posting about me. Please don't engage. I'm okay. I'm not reconciling, my mom replied. Understood, my sister replied. Already blocked her. Then my ex tried to escalate. She posted another video, this time holding a framed photo from our wedding, saying, I'm still wearing my ring in my heart. That's when my cousin, who never talks, commented from his verified business account. Stop using grief for views. You cheated. Leave him alone. The comment pinned itself to the top because people liked it so fast. Her video disappeared within an hour. She called me screaming, not crying. Why would you let him say that? I stayed calm. I didn't let anyone do anything. You made this public. You ruined me, she yelled. No, I said. You finally met an audience that didn't need your version to survive. Then I blocked her everywhere. The next morning my phone was quiet. No drama. No chaos. Just silence. My favorite kind now. Story 17. She asked for another chance with a moving truck. I came home from work and saw it parked outside my building like a threat. Same white truck. Same hazard lights. And her standing on the sidewalk smiling like she'd solved a puzzle. Surprise, she said. I got a place here. My stomach dropped. Here? She nodded toward my building. Same complex. Different unit. It'll be easier. We can rebuild slowly. That's when I noticed the leasing agent behind her holding a clipboard, looking awkward. The agent said, She told us you were okay with it. My ex jumped in fast, sweet voice. We talked, remember? You said you wanted space but not distance. I stared at her. We hadn't spoken in weeks. I turned to the agent. That's not true. We are not together. I'm not okay with this. My ex's smile froze. Why are you embarrassing me? I'm not, I said. I'm correcting a lie. The agent's face changed instantly. Ma'am, we can't finalize if this is a safety concern. My ex snapped. Safety? He's not scared of me. I looked at the agent. I am requesting you do not place her in my building. She stepped closer, eyes sharp. So you're banning me now? Like I'm some criminal? You're trying to live on top of me, I said. That's not love. That's control. Her voice rose. I just want another chance. I nodded at the truck. No. You want access. People started watching from balconies. Someone's dog barked. The driver of the truck pretended not to listen but leaned on the horn like he wanted his money. The agent took a step back. Ma'am, we're stopping this move-in. You'll need to reschedule elsewhere. My ex's face went red. She turned to me and hissed, You'll regret this. I didn't argue. I just pulled out my phone and called building security. When the guard walked up, she lost it. Screaming, pointing at me, calling me names like we were still married and she still had the right. The guard looked at her, then at me. Sir, do you want her trespassed? I said one word. Yes. Her mouth opened like she'd been punched by reality. The truck driver slammed the door. The hazard lights clicked off. And she stood there with her second chance, packed in cardboard, realizing I wasn't a place she could move back into. Story 18. She asked for another chance at my company's holiday party. I didn't even know she had the location. I didn't even know she knew my coworkers' names. I was talking to my team near the dessert table when I heard her laugh. Too loud, too familiar. I turned and there she was, in a gold dress, holding a drink like she belonged. She walked straight to me and kissed my cheek. My entire body went cold. Hi, she said brightly. I'm his wife. We're working things out. 3 people smiled politely. One of them looked confused, like they were trying to remember if I'd mentioned I was remarried. I stepped back. You need to leave. Her smile didn't move. Not here. Don't make a scene. You already did, I said. She leaned closer, whispering through her teeth. If you embarrass me, I'll embarrass you. I nodded once, calm. Okay. Then I walked to the event coordinator and security. Quietly. No shouting. No drama. Just facts. That woman is my ex-wife. She is not invited. I want her removed. 2 guards approached her. She tried to laugh it off. Oh my God, stop. This is funny, security said. Ma'am, we need you to come with us. Her face snapped. Tell them, she demanded at me. Loud now. Tell them we're fixing it. A few heads turned. The room started to hush. I looked at her and spoke clearly. We are divorced. We are not reconciling. You are trespassing. Her eyes filled. Not with sadness, with rage. You're doing this to punish me. No, I said. I'm doing this to protect my life. She tried one last move, turning to my boss with that innocent face. He's confused. He's emotional. We've had a hard year. My boss cut her off. I know who you are. Please leave. That was the real humiliation. Not the guards. Not the whispers. The fact that someone important didn't fall for it. She got escorted out in heels that clicked louder than the music. And the best part? I didn't have to raise my voice even once. She came to reclaim power. She left as a cautionary tale. Story 19. She asked for another chance at the finish line of a race. I'd been training for months. Not because I wanted a medal, because I needed something that proved I could keep going when it hurt. I finished. Lungs on fire, sweat in my eyes, and I saw her pushing through the crowd like she had a VIP pass. She threw her arms around me before I could step back. I'm so proud of you, she cried. I never stopped believing in you. I peeled her off gently. What are you doing here? She looked at me like I'd asked why the sun was up. I came to support you. And to talk. I looked around. People were hugging, crying, celebrating. Volunteers handing out water. Cameras everywhere. She grabbed my hand. I made the biggest mistake. I want another chance. I'll do it right. Please. I could feel her trying to trap me in public kindness. Make me the villain if I said no. So I did something simple. I stepped back and put the medal in my pocket. No, I said. Her face twitched. Not here, she hissed. Can we talk later? No later either, I said. She blinked hard. You're really doing this? I'm not doing anything to you, I said. I'm doing something for me. Her voice rose. I showed up for you. You showed up for a moment, I replied. You didn't show up for the marriage. A volunteer walked over, confused. Everything okay? My ex jumped in fast. He's just emotional. He ran a race. I cut in, calm. I'm fine. She's my ex. She needs to leave me alone. The volunteer's expression changed to understanding. She nodded and waved over event security. My ex's eyes went wide. You're calling security on me? After 10 years? After 10 years, I said. Yes? Security stepped in, polite but firm. Ma'am, you need to step away. My ex looked around at the crowd like she expected someone to rescue her with sympathy. Nobody did. As she got guided back, she shouted the last thing she had. You'll never find someone who loves you like I do. I wiped sweat from my face and said, not even loudly, that's the goal. And the crowd around me didn't boo. They laughed. She didn't just lose me. She lost the story she wanted everyone to believe. Story 20. She asked for another chance with the oldest trick in the book. I'm pregnant. It came in a text from an unknown number. Please don't hate me. I need to talk. I'm pregnant. It's yours. My whole body went cold for a second. Then my brain snapped into clarity. Because we hadn't been together in a year. I replied, not possible. She answered instantly. It is. I lied about the timing. Please meet me. I'm scared. I didn't meet her alone. I met her in a public cafe, and I brought my brother. Not to fight, just to witness. She walked in looking exhausted on purpose. Hoodie, messy hair, trembling hands. She sat down and whispered, I didn't know who else to go to. I kept my voice flat. Show me a test. Show me anything. She hesitated. I don't have it with me. Then there's nothing to talk about, I said. Her eyes filled up fast. Why are you being like this? Because you're lying, I said. She slammed her hands on the table. People looked over. I'm not lying. You just don't want responsibility. My brother leaned in, calm. Then call your doctor right now. Put it on speaker. We'll listen. She froze. That silence was loud. Her face shifted. Anger, panic. Then that familiar contempt. Fine, she snapped. I'm not pregnant. My chest didn't relax. It hardened. She leaned closer and whispered, venomous, I just needed you to show up. I needed to know you still would. I stared at her. So you used a fake baby to test my obedience. She shrugged like it was normal. You used to care. I stood up. You didn't want a second chance. You wanted proof you could still pull me. She grabbed my wrist. Don't leave. Please. I pulled free. Never do that again to anyone. As we walked out, a man near the counter stood up suddenly. Are you serious? He barked at her. It was her new boyfriend. I recognized him from old pictures she'd posted. He looked at me, then at her. You told me you were meeting your sister. She went pale. He pointed at her, loud enough for the whole cafe now. You faked a pregnancy to chase your ex? She tried to hush him. Not here. But it was too late. Everyone was watching. Her performance had switched audiences and turned on her. My brother held the door for me, and I walked out into cold air feeling one thing, clean. Not happy. Not triumphant. Just free. Story 21. She didn't ask for another chance. She scheduled it. My buddy Ryan texted, come through tonight. Just the guys. You've been MIA. I showed up to the sports bar, expecting wings and trash talk. I walked in and froze. She was at the table, my ex, smiling like she'd been invited by fate. Two of my friends looked guilty, like kids caught stealing. Surprise, she said, sweet as poison. I thought it'd be easier if everyone was here, so you can't just shut me out. I didn't sit. Who thought this was a good idea? Ryan wouldn't meet my eyes. She said you wouldn't answer her. We just wanted audience, I said, cutting him off. My ex leaned forward, voice soft. I'm asking for another chance. I know I hurt you, but we can fix it. We were best friends. I looked at the table. My old friends. Their beers. Their uncomfortable silence. I'm not doing this, I said. She blinked dramatically. So you're really saying no? Like I'm nothing? You're not nothing, I said. You're not my wife. She shifted to anger, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. You're punishing me. I didn't raise my voice. No. I'm refusing to be played. Then Ryan finally blurted, Bro. She also asked if any of us knew where you keep the title to your car. The whole table went dead. My ex's face flashed. 1 second of pure panic. Then she tried to laugh. What? That's not... I stared at her. You came here to reconcile and shop for leverage? Her jaw tightened. I needed stability. I nodded slowly. So you picked the one place you thought I'd stay quiet. In front of my friends. I turned to the guys. If you want to hang out, call me. If you want to host her, enjoy. She stood up fast, chair scraping. Don't walk away when I'm trying. I looked back once. You're not trying. You're hunting. As I left, the bartender shouted, Hey, someone's card got declined. I didn't turn around, but I heard her voice crack. Try it again. Story 22. She asked for another chance with paperwork. She texted, We need to sign a few things. Taxes. Storage unit. Just quick. I agreed to meet at a notary's office because I wasn't doing any private conversation in a parking lot. She arrived with a folder thicker than my patience and a smile like she'd already won. See? She said. We can still be adults. The notary sat us down. Which document are we notarizing today? My ex slid the stack forward. Just some signatures. I opened it. It wasn't taxes. It was a refinance application. My name on it. My income listed. My signature line highlighted in neon. I looked up. Are you serious? She kept smiling, but her eyes went sharp. It's just to help me get back on my feet. If you sign, I can keep my place. It's temporary. The notary's eyebrows lifted slightly. Professionals have a sixth sense for scams. My ex leaned closer. And if you sign, I'll stop fighting you on the schedule. I'll be easier. We can rebuild. I sat back. So the second chance is me co-signing your life. She snapped. Don't be dramatic. It's not like that. I turned to the notary. We are divorced. I did not agree to this. Please note I'm refusing. The notary nodded calmly. I can't proceed if one party's uncomfortable. Ma'am, this appears to be a loan document. My ex's smile finally cracked. It's not a loan, it's literally a loan, the notary said, still polite. My ex's face went red. She tried another angle, voice trembling on purpose. I'm scared. I made mistakes. I'm trying to change. You always said you'd protect me. I stared at her. I said I'd be your partner. Not your safety net after you set the house on fire. She hissed. So you're refusing to help the mother of your kids? I stood up. I'm refusing to be financially tied to a person who lies to get signatures. The notary slid the papers back. Ma'am, you'll need to leave. My ex turned toward the door, then spun back like she needed a final line. You'll regret this when I tell people how you treated me. The notary, without missing a beat, said, Ma'am, I have cameras and audio in my office. My ex went pale. Then she walked out so fast the folder bent in her hands. Story 23. She asked for another chance by sending cops to my house. At 9:40 p.m. there's a knock. 2 officers on my porch. Sir, we got a call requesting a wellness check. A former spouse is concerned you might be a danger to yourself. My chest went tight, then hot. Because I knew exactly who would use that. I'm fine, I said, stepping outside so my neighbors wouldn't hear. Who called? They didn't answer directly, but one officer's look said, You already know. I opened my phone and pulled up the last messages I'd gotten from her over the week. The guilt trips. The insults. The I can't live without you. The if you don't answer, I'll do something. I handed the phone over. She's been escalating. The officer scrolled, jaw tightening. Has she shown up here? Not tonight, I said. But she's trying to force contact. The older officer nodded. We're going to document this. If she's using emergency services to harass you, that's serious. 10 minutes after they left, my phone rang from a blocked number. I answered, because I'm not a saint. Her voice came through, shaky and triumphant. I was just worried. I couldn't sleep. I thought you might... I cut her off. You called the police. Silence. Then, I did what I had to do. You wouldn't respond. You tried to scare me into talking, I said. That's not love. That's coercion. She snapped. I'm trying to fix us. No, I said. You're trying to trap me. Her voice went cold. So you're really done? Yes, I said. She started crying instantly. Fast, performative. Please, just one more chance. I kept my tone flat. You just turned my home into a crime scene for attention. Never contact me again. She whispered, hateful now. You'll see what I'm capable of. I didn't argue. Good night. I hung up. 2 minutes later, there was another knock. Same officers. The older one looked tired. Sir, she just called again. She says you threatened her. I stared at him. I'm recording everything now. He nodded once like he'd made up his mind. We're going to talk to her. From my porch, I watched them walk to her car at the end of the street. Because yes, she was parked there, hiding like a teenager. When the officer shined his flashlight into her window, she slumped down in the seat. And for once, the fear she'd been trying to manufacture landed on the right person.